Green today for contrast. Pretty big red day across the board, and want to review what we did and how things played out and what I'm looking for. And you know what? I'm not going to go any shorter time frames than daily because I want us to get the big picture going home. I don't think that you should be doing a lot of trading in this environment. If you're positioned and things are working, that's a different story. But I think initiating new stuff, especially on a Friday, never try and make your week on a Friday, especially you have a red day. We had the NFP, I guess. The market didn't like it. They tried to sell the dollar off, but um, not being stubborn and being willing to reverse out of positions, you have to mentally prepare yourself for. So I knew Friday that, I'd identified this 98 level. So I anticipated it a little bit on Sunday night, Monday, and got long under 98. It's done nothing wrong, even cleared some more resistance here at this 98.80 level. Any pullback you buy it, I still think 102, 103 is in the cards, and maybe everything's going to come quickly. If you've noticed, we're getting a lot of straight line moves. So there's the daily looks good, and here's the weekly. I mean, I don't know if you fade anything like that. So the dollar benefiting as a safe haven currency with what's happening between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. Uh, I would say that there's one trade that's still in development. I know we had a good week in the end, so maybe it's just going to keep going with the dollar, but we'll see. It's so far it is. This is a daily. I didn't break my rules. Still, lower peak than what we had at the beginning of the year, and all the people that got short or missed it. And there was no intervention, but remember, it happened in 5 days. And if you didn't act Sunday night, you felt late. I missed it. So I'm viewing this as another opportunity up here. And if we do top before making new highs, and you need some downside action to get some confirmation that we're going to start to get at least something like this. But this could be a major trading opportunity in the end if we get some type of failure, because it wasn't really that long ago where we were at a very important level at this 140 level, and if we start cracking 150 again, we could be back there, and the ramifications of a breakdown under 140 is pretty big. It's you're talking about 120 for a measured move. And it's not that we haven't been there before. I'll even go longer term here. Yeah, I was going to make it a shorter video, but let's do this. So you could see this could be a lot of years of distribution. I could be wrong and we're going to get a third drive too, but this is something new I'm probing. If you were looking for metals to bail you out during this kind of volatility because crude was really exploding, um, I've been talking for a while. There's your week in gold. Uh, it's not a positive week. Here's the daily. It peaked a little bit above 78.6, and there's really been no other recovery. Maybe it's holding up better than the dollar, but to me, it still looks vulnerable. I could see it testing this speed line down here at 4,800 and eventually breaking it. If things really get out of control, maybe we could have some type of, A, B, C um, back here, but I don't think that we're going to take out these highs. I think this was important and for a failing rally after the initial decline. Same scenario in silver. Silver was even weaker. Okay, it didn't even get to 61.8 while gold surpassed 78.6. So perhaps the gold silver ratio isn't done yet either, and there's another wave. We had a big up week in yields. Yields went higher, And it's part of you use oil and everything. And little did I know, it's bullish wheat way before the breakout. And I had no idea how important the Mideast was in agriculture, fertilizer, um, the elements that they need. So let's take a look at TLT because this is really something. So people that are complacent about the war, we're on the verge of breaking out of a weekly pattern here in the bonds before the attack. And I want to bring up the attack. How many people that you guys listen to out there was talking about that this was going to happen, believed there would be conflict there, and then really touched upon something that everyone I asked, all the energy experts that I've asked in interviews over the years, they will never close the Straits of Hormuz. You don't know how many times I've heard it and how many times I've said that's their biggest edge and their biggest card. And we're seeing it in real time, what's happening. We're getting financial drones in the markets from this. Okay. Everyone thought it was going to be, a few days and done, like Venezuela. The markets are trained to believe that these events happen over a short period of time. They forgot about Iraq already, how things could drag on, and people got used to selling crude um, after the initial kinetic response in crude, and it was a decent move short term, but now you feel like, my target was 78, so I mean that's where we got here, and it paused a little bit. Breaking out over 78, we're definitely this is the nightmare scenario. And I'll never forget what Mark Chandler told me that Dale, every major recession, or like almost all of them, start with an oil shock. Well, we're in the midst of an oil shock. The fact that it got through this bearish count, you know, I don't think a lot of people are going to be wanting to go home long risk. So, let's take a look at risk. I believe that we finally have breakdown. It's taking Bitcoin down with it. Maybe that was it. Maybe that wasn't the low, but it's not a good looking week. It seems like you don't want to be long anything except energy and food products. So I mean, with all this carnage going on, it's okay to stand aside. And remember, I said that cash. Everyone hated cash. They wish they had cash now so that they could just sit back and let the market come to them at much, much cheaper levels. Every instrument under pressure. Have your shopping list ready. If this is going to carry on for a month, maybe we'll have some great buys. Let's just quickly take a look at Nvidia has kept me negative. Um, the semiconductors, and I'm still looking for a breakdown. It's actually been showing more relative strength than a lot of the semis. So the semiconductor index, remember I said I don't think we're going to get the kind of bounce. This is pretty negative action unless they turn it. I think people are piled in. And I've been talking about the parabola and things like Micron. Let's take a look at Micron. It's down pretty good. So there's a daily, but look at the parabola. It's broken. It's under the 9 week. That's vulnerable. And the other star is SanDisk, not down as much on a percentage basis, but for the week, don't these look like silver? Anyway, I've been bearish. I was early. I'm still in. So I've been practicing persistence and rolling puts over and investing more money into paper that expires. A lot of it expires. All right, so we've crossed the Rubicon, everybody. The world's different now. And this is really the scenario. I don't know who's going to want to go home long equities now. I think you have a clear cut breakdown. So we should get that move to 6,100 now. Let's just look at this clear cut breakdown in the S&Ps. And there's your weekly. So it looks pretty ugly on a weekly. And NASDAQ and Dow, I talked about the Dow leading it on the way down. So I hope some of you guys raise cash because, we could be down here early spring, maybe in a hurry, back to prior highs. So there's the bullish case. I'll pull back to 6,100 and then we blast again. The bearish case is this. I almost hate to draw the line for you, but I'll wrap it with this. Um, and I don't think this is not my base case, but the way things are going right here, um, it makes me really trust my charts more, but also maybe it's because I'm old now. I believe in prudence over valor. Don't try and be a hero in this environment, okay? And trade markets where you could handle the vol and the average trading range. Don't go into things that are over your head. If you do, you like those instruments, you really got to lever down like the micro lots, okay? So this is what we have, everybody. And this too shall pass. But in the meantime, hang out with us during this historic period in the markets here. Hang out with us. Lots of great traders. We gave the Man Award out earlier in the day to Toddler, and Mike's posting a lot, but the members they're at it. Okay, so join us here. It's free. You'll find the link on this YouTube page or on my profile on X at Forex Stop Hunter. All right, everyone, have a good weekend despite what's going on, and let's hope for peace. We can hope for. I'm not optimistic about it though. All right, so everyone, see you Monday. Have a good weekend. We're still untouched here. Talk to you.